Hey guys, it's AK back again with another video. So today we are talking about 3 tips on how to gain press as a fashion brand or even just as a creative entrepreneur. So let's get into it. So again, guys, my name is AK. If you are new to the channel, I am your fashion visionary, style architect, and creative entrepreneur that all consist of styling, creative directing, influencing. I do a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll get into that in other videos. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Like and share and all that good stuff. Also, make sure to hit me up on Instagram and all of my brands on Instagram. I will drop all those links in the description below, and I would greatly appreciate a follow. So today's video is exactly what I said. I am talking about how to gain press as a fashion brand or even just as a creative entrepreneur. Over the past, or less than a year, not even the past year, but less than a year, I've been gaining a lot of press around my name or just things that I've done. Did not imagine that COVID and quarantine were going to shift my brand in that way, but I'm so glad that it did. So I've been featured everywhere from Fashion Bomb Daily to XO Nicole to local magazine and publications here in St. Louis, such as Deluxe Magazine, St. Louis Magazine, Ladue News, St. Louis American, KSDK, things like that. I'll post my press page in the description, and you are more than welcome to check out everywhere that I have been featured. I will actually greatly appreciate that. Make sure to share it when you click on that link. I would love to share some tips and tricks on how I gained press as actually someone who is in PR. A lot of people don't realize I do have a master's in communications with the emphasis in promotions. I never used it corporately. I just more so used it like for my own businesses. And so in any of the publications that I was featured in, I did my own PR. I was my own PR rep, and I do PR for a couple of clients as well on the side. So I feel like I have some ground to kind of say some of these tips that we're going to be talking about. Tip number 1, you have to have a story to tell. Okay, so what I mean by that is we all think that we're amazing, which we are. But in the realm of public relations and press and exposure and media and all that stuff, you have to figure out what is the angle that is going to work in order for someone to spend the time and the resources and the dollars to write an article about you, put you on their TV show, their radio segment, their podcast segment, or even just place you on their website. What's the angle? What's the compelling story? And if you have a hard time figuring that out, that's why I suggest working with a PR rep. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. I even will drop the links to some other notable PR reps that I highly recommend and support in the description. But if you are not good at spinning a story and coming up with an angle, please get with a PR person. They will help you come up with the story, come up with the angle, create a press release, which is basically what we send out to journalists and media professionals so that they can read over a synopsis of what the angle is, and hopefully it grabs their attention enough to be like, okay, well, when can we do an interview? Or when can we put them on the TV show? Or when can we set up a time for us to go over details on featuring them in an article? So that's tip number 1. You have to figure out what the story is and what the angle is in order for you to even come out as newsworthy or press-worthy. Number 2, you have to do the research and find the appropriate contacts. Okay, yes, I just did spirit fingers, but I'm so serious when I say this. So what I mean by that is, if you're doing your own PR, which you can easily do not just send the email to the general email at a magazine or newspapers, whatever they have on their website. because I can guarantee you it's going to get lost in the sauce and you ain't going to hear back from no one ever again. So a tip from a PR professional like myself, say if you wanted to get a story featured in Essence, for example, you need to figure out what category that actually falls under in their website or print. So whether it's arts, lifestyle, fashion, culture, beauty, celebrity, what category does your story fall under? Then go to that category on their website and go through all the different writers that there could be. Research those different writers to figure out who would make the most sense pitching to for this story. Then once you have X, Y, and Z, whoever he or she may be, you need to do some type of Google search, LinkedIn search, what have you. I have had a lot of success by Googling. I get their Instagram, I get their LinkedIn. They even, a lot of writers have like their own websites to where they have their personal email address to where they will accept pitches or collaborations and stuff like that. So if I find that email, awesome. If not, I do research. I go on LinkedIn, I go on Instagram. A lot of writers and journalists have their professional emails linked to their Instagram. So you hit that email button on Instagram and you get the email address that they would like for you to send pitches to. So you have to do the research. It's not just find a general email for Essence or Vibe or Fashion Bomb Daily or whoever. No, you have to do a little bit of research. Some contacts are more easier to find than others, so if you really want to get your name out there, you have to put in the work. And then again, if you don't feel like as a fashion brand or creative entrepreneur, you have the time to do that, hire a PR rep, because that's what we do. Half of our time, depending on why you hired us, is spent pitching on your behalf. So again, you can hire me. You can hire the people that I put in the description. I don't care. Just find somebody and get it done. Third tip, last but certainly not least, follow the fuck up. Follow up. So what I mean is, sending that first email may not result in an immediate response. 9 times out of 10, it probably is not going to result in an immediate response, especially if you're doing your own PR. So what I mean by that is you have to follow up. Now, what I don't mean follow up every damn day, twice a day. No, because you'll end up getting blackballed and put on that journalist block list. That journalist will tell her or his friends, and then if they ever see a picture of you, they're going to be like, oh, hell no. They're annoying. They don't understand proper email and follow-up etiquette. We're not doing shit with them. So when you first send out a pitch, I would easily give it 2 to 3 days, even a week. A week is appropriate. Then after that, I would follow up maybe every week after that for maybe about a month. After that, if you want to follow up every couple of weeks, that's fine. I feel like you can gauge and understand when someone is not going to email you back. So maybe about 3 follow-ups, and then from there, if no one responds back, move on to the next contact. But don't be annoying. Don't be rude. Don't be inappropriate in regards to email follow-up etiquette. Like I said, probably no more than 3. After that, move on to the next person. There are so many other things that goes into how to structure a PR email that I feel like I can talk about and may talk about on another email, or not email, I'm sorry. Oh my God, on another video. But again, I also feel like if you are in a position to hire a PR agency or a rep or whatever, do that so that way you can spend your time doing other things for your fashion brand or your creative business. But again, the last tip, but probably the most important tip, is to make sure to follow up. Also, to that point, if you get a response back from the person. And for example, say if they send you interview questions, or basically a list of everything that they need from you in order to move forward with the potential interview, feature, whatever it is, please make sure that you give them that information within the time frame that they have said. If they did not give you a time frame, ask them, so that way you're making sure that you're staying within their time frame that they need. Because if they don't receive anything back from you, they're going to move on to the next person. They're not going to hound you down and follow up with you multiple times when they have deadlines to meet. A lot of these people, especially for these bigger publications, are planning content out for months ahead. Like, we're in June. There are some publications that are planning content for October, November, December. So if you're not on the ball by providing them information within the time frame that they specified, they're not only going to move on to somebody else, but when you send out another pitch, they're going to be like, oh no, you're unreliable. You didn't give me the shit that I needed the first time. So why would I think that you would give me shit this time or the next time? So no, I'm not even going to look at this pitch. So not only follow up with that person, but please make sure that you respond within a reasonable time frame and give them the information that they need in order for them to do what they need to do for you, which is give you press and spotlight and features and, you know, all that other good stuff. Quick, easy, to the point, not too in depth, but those 3 tips I feel like are 3 very important tips on how to gain press as a fashion brand or creative entrepreneur. I may do another video going a little bit deeper. So I'll think about that and we'll decide later. But until then, again, if you need PR, reach out to me, reach out to the people that I put in the description, or do your own research on how to manage PR duties for yourself as a fashion brand and creative entrepreneur. Maybe that's going to be the video that I do. So someone remind me and we'll get that on the list. But yeah, until next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to check out all my links, like, share, follow if you have not done so already. And I'll check y'all later. Bye.